My name's Caitlin Kelly. I'm a current summer associate at Adam Lightman Bailey PC, and I am a rising 3L at New York Law School. So I was an extern here first in the spring of 2021 in my 2L year. So I had applied, gone through the whole process, got an interview, moved on to the second interview, and really started working. In terms of how I specifically got it, I would like to say my hard work and perseverance. There were 4 other externs with me, and I'd say that just making myself stand out and taking on new assignments and challenges were something that made me stand out and gave me a leg up in comparison to some of my counterparts, and is the way I'd like to think I'm here today. So I was looking for an externship opportunity at my school. In terms of where I wanted to go specifically, I wasn't too sure. I honestly sent out a bunch of applications, and one of the applications was for ALB PC. I had no specific experience in real estate prior to applying, but I did like my property class my first year in law school, and after doing some in-depth research about the firm and some of its people and success and what it had to offer generally, that's really what sparked my application process. So this summer as a summer associate, I've been working in both the transactional and litigation departments. On the transactional side, on a day-to-day basis, I mainly dealt with purchase transactions, whether it was real property or co-ops. So I started off from the beginning of the loan process all the way to the end. And here at the firm in the transactional department, we represent the lenders, so the banks that are making the loans to the purchasers. So I would actually start off in the beginning by doing all the documents and kind of due diligence in the beginning of the transaction, and then I would be the one on behalf of the bank showing up at the closing table, taking part in the last part of the transaction. On the litigation side, my daily tasks pretty much included doing research and various writing assignments. Some of the writing assignments I did were demand letters, complaints, and I worked a lot on arbitration memos for some of the collections cases that we have at the firm, which all of that work was submitted to both partners and associates. So when I went into law school, I kind of made a promise to myself that I would go in with an open mind. I didn't want to commit up front to anything. I think since being here and just generally, you're not really going to know what you want to do until you're in the setting doing that every day. People have an idea of what they want to do, and then when they're doing all the nitty-gritty work in between, they're like, oh, sometimes, I don't think I want to do that anymore. So I kind of took a chance on real estate. Like I said, I had that general interest, but I took a chance here. I ended up really liking it. Being able to work in both departments gave me a lot of different exposure, doing transaction and doing some litigation work. Yes, overall, I think I've achieved the experience I was looking for. Law school is very much a lot of theory, and law school teaches you how to perform on a law school exam, but it doesn't necessarily teach you how to do the work that you're going to be doing as an everyday lawyer. So here early on, I was given a lot of responsibility in both departments, and I think that contributed a lot to the experience that I wanted to obtain. There were days when I would go to closings all day, and then I would come back and stay late at night to get litigation deadlines done. So I think overall, between the workload that I took on and the assignments that I got from other lawyers in the firm, I gained a lot of experience and hands-on stuff that law school just doesn't teach you. So similarly to what I said earlier, law school is very theory-based. So unless you go out of your way in law school to take some of the more practical courses, like I took a drafting contracts class, I took a negotiating, counseling, and interviewing class, you're not really gonna get that practice like experience And I feel like whether you do an externship here or something else, that's just something that should be essential for any law student to partake in. So generally, yes, I'd say that this experience surpassed what they teach you in law school. So I wouldn't limit any one task to being the most exciting or rewarding thing I've worked on. Like I said, I was given a lot of responsibility, and I took every opportunity to make it a learning experience, which I find rewarding just within itself. But some of the notable things I've been involved in or I've been able to participate in have been working on a lot of cases one-on-one with Adam himself. One of them was a prominent buyout deal for rent-stabilized tenants, which I worked on and sat in on with the clients as a summer associate. Another case that I worked on with him as an extern involved a prominent DJ of New York, so that was kind of cool, working with someone pretty notable within the city. And I got to recently go to trial for a lawsuit between a family and dissolution of their multiple corporations. So that was something I would say that was a notable experience that I really enjoyed partaking in. Or I'd say one of the biggest challenges has just been working in both departments and handling a lot of overlapping deadlines. I have talked to other lawyers who have been here a while in the firm, and this firm does really promote a work-life balance, especially for the people who decide to have a family one day. I think it's really what you make of it. This firm allows you to bill a lot of hours and reap the benefits of those if you choose. And it also, allows you to kind of do the work you want to do during the day and then go home if that's what you choose. I obviously chose to take on as much work as I could this summer and make the most out of my experience and the experience for the firm. So, like I said, I think I kind of did the workload overload to myself in some way, but that was personal choice, and I don't have any regrets doing that because I was able to, dive into a lot of work and get results because of it. So I would say some advice I would give someone coming in to fulfill the role or roles I've been in is really just to put yourself out there and make yourself known. This is a pretty small firm, but lawyers are extremely busy, and the way it works around here for the most part, or from at least what I've experienced, is you're not going to be spoon-fed work and assignments and experience. You kind of really need to speak up and put yourself out there and reach out to attorneys and say, hey, can I go to court? Can I sit in on this negotiation? Can I have some assignments to improve my writing? And really just to ask for constructive feedback and comments on both the good and bad work that you produce along the way, just because it's a learning experience. And I think it's important to make mistakes because that's how you learn from them. And really, Adam always has his door open and listens to the critiques and, positive things everyone has to say. So really just, speak your voice, make yourself known in this firm, and make an impact early on.